Hello and welcome back to another roster review video. Just first off, as a quick note, if you do want your roster reviewed in a future video, just drop a comment on this video, with obviously your ally code, a little bit of information about your account and how it's heading, your plan, or stuff like that. And this first account we've got is absolute free to play. Just off the bat, just looking at it, it's just beautiful. JMK, Executor, Kyber 5, it's just beautiful. And some information about this account. They said Leviathan is now in the waiting stages, has used 1 month off Fury class and Malgus. Following that, my guild is pushing Inquisitors and they won't finish by the end of the year. Also building Shorty team on the side as Leviathan Rex makes half the team. So it looks like the near future goals are obviously the Leviathan and the Inquisitors. So let's jump straight into the collection, see what he's got going on. So we've got 2 GLs, very nice. General Skywalker, Malak. It's just a very nice Waters. Relic 7 obviously, which is great for C. Wampa, that's great. There's Shorty being built up. A very well-rounded well-rounded roster at 5.6 million GP. Of course, General Kenobi and Sith Eternal are 2 great GLs to go for early on. Sith Eternal, a very easy one. Jedi Master Kenobi, arguably the best. And you can see yeah, Malak's R9. I'm pretty sure you need that for the Leviathan. Same with Revan. But I just wanna, how far are you off the Leviathan? Have you got Malgus yet? Yes, here he is. At Relic 1, obviously he's not required. He's not. Well, you know what? Actually, first off, I don't think he's got the Leviathan. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not yet. So you'll have to wait for it to roll around again. But if we take a look at the Sith ships, yeah, missing the Fury class Interceptor. I think that's all of them. He's the only one he's missing. But fleets are looking great. Let's be real. The Executor is a solid ship. Even at 5 stars, you can still push up towards first in your fleet arena, so that's great. Negotiated Malevolence done, and like they're fully done. Relic 8 and 7 on the pilots as well. Chimera, a personal favourite, but not a great ship, but nice to see done. So yeah, a well-rounded fleets for GAC, especially when the Leviathan comes through now with its bug fixes, so that's just great. Outrider at 5 stars, so that's there if you ever want to get Jabba, already on the way. Vulture Droid definitely needs bringing up. Same with Plo Koon, just for the ship. For your Malevolence fleet, if you do set that on defense. Seeing the TIE Interceptor there is nice, great with the Chimera. Same with the TIE Defender. Is there anything else I'm noticing? Seeing Cad Bane brought up for Executor is nice. Same with Bam. Very nice fleet. Emperor Shuttle is alright at 5 stars. Obviously much better at 7 for the Chimera. 5's at Relic 5 as well. Again, great for the Negotiator. It's just a very well-rounded fleet. Obviously missing the best one, being the Leviathan. But, almost there. You are getting there, which is great to see. Let's have a quick look at Datacrons. Got quite a few. Got some of these Bastila ones, which is nice. But, who really cares about Datacrons? This set 9, I'm pretty sure this one is. It's just solid with this Bastila, giving her leadership on a Datacron without having to actually have her in the lead. It's just insane. So a very nice rounded set of Datacrons. But yeah, looking at the characters again. Is there anything missing, I think, is the main question. Cat is obviously great for, what's it called, JMK. C-3PO is very cool to have for a CLS team. Wampa, I've not seen Savage yet, but obviously I've not scrolled down that far. Qui-Gon Omicron, very nice. Yeah, there's Savage, great. Not missing much, really. Oh, let's have a look at your Inquisitors. You said you're working on them. Oh, that should be quite interesting to see. I'm assuming that's for Reva. Eventually, I can't find Inquisitors. Where's the eye? There it is, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so they're coming up. Well, of course, it takes time. Got to get them all up to, I think, Relic 5 for a Grand Inquisitor. Not sure off the top of my head, but you know that they'll take time. They will be done probably by the end of the year. You're not a million miles away. But yeah, Padme probably should bring up to relics. Let's have a look at his Galactic Republic. Just because she's so good in Proving Grounds is the main thing, and on JMK. So I would definitely finish off Padme and get her up to relic levels so you can use her with. Because with JMK, the ideal team is obviously JMK, GK, which is great at Relicate as well. Cat, Ahsoka, and Padme. So you definitely want to bring these two up to high relics just because you want to make the most of the Datacrons. Especially with the new changes, it being only the relic 1, 3, and 5 you need. You might as well just bring up to relic 5. Same with Padme and Ahsoka, just to make the most out of that team. Kelly definitely, probably, not definitely, but probably needs working on. But I'm assuming you're in a good enough guild to start getting up to 7 stars. Just because he goes really well on a Qui-Gon Omicron team with Jedi Knight Anakin as well. So that is really nice to see. And yeah, not much more needed out of your Galactic Republic other than Plo Koon probably would just bring him up for his ship. Bad Batch is missing, but you know, that's just a side project really. They're a good team, but not the most crucial. Other than that, I'm not seeing much else that there is an issue with that you're missing. Joe Leo would bring up some more for Jedi Knight Revan. That is another little, not hole, but could be useful if we take a look at the Old Republic. Would definitely bring up Joe Lee to go with Jedi Knight Revan. And then obviously you've got Grandmaster Yoda and Hermit Yoda as well. Which, yeah, GMY's there. Not seen Hermit Yoda yet, but maybe I will when we're scrolling through. We'll keep an eye out. But Nest is nice. Talon's nice. You know, there's some very nice characters coming up. Armorer. I think, does she need the Zeta? I'm pretty sure. Or one of them. Oh, no, she doesn't. I am unsure whether there is one. I've not got armor myself, but if there is you just need her for the 3 stacks of Beskar, really, but you know what does that better. But other than that, we've got Trent at 7 stars, which is pretty cool to have. Not a great character, but pretty cool to have in your roster. Hondo at 3 stars, pretty interested as well. But yeah, honestly, a solid looking account. There are a few little holes there that I've noticed just on a quick glance, which are mainly Plo. Who else did I say? Padme and Ahsoka are my main 2. Yeah, Hermit Yoda is there, which is nice. But yeah, the main, other than what you're working on now, which is obviously your Leviathan and your Inquisitors, I would definitely just finish off Padme and Ahsoka just to get even more out of your JMK team. Obviously, gas is great, but yeah, that's the main thing I would say. Just finish off your Galactic Republic. I can't remember what else I said, to be honest. I think there was something else. Oh, your Separatist ships as well. That was it, wasn't it? Where's Separatist? I think I'm just blind today. We're looking at these. We'll definitely get Vulture Droid and the Hyena Bobber just to like round out the malevolence a bit more, make it an even stronger ship. But if you want to place it on defense, in JC, we'll definitely do that. But I think that is about it for this account. Let's just have a quick look at these. I want to look at the speeds. Obviously, the JMK is going to be the quickest. What have we got in? Speed and health, yeah. That's what I would do as well. When I eventually get him. Hopefully. 552 is a great speed set with 167 extra speed. That is great to see. But I was actually more interested out of you 2 Galactic Legends what you've done with your Sith Eternal. Whether you've gone for the speed build. Obviously full health set, but what is your arrow? Is what I'm interested in. Once it loads up. Health, yeah, that's what I've gone for too. That is probably the better build. But I think that is everything for this account. A great account. Definitely would just work on the last little bit of Galactic Republic. Other than that, your plan's great, your aims are great, and honestly, like nearly a 10 out of 10 account, I would say. Very, very nice. Next up, we have the Running Jedi, who is, you know, obviously a complete contrast to the last account. But he's around level 75, which was 2 weeks ago, so maybe a little bit higher now. I don't think, can I see in the profile? No, I don't think so. Oh well. But he said the first goal is Jabba, and then building up some core teams as well. But off the face of it, I didn't like to see that. I'm a great lover of Iden and her team as well, especially when you get the Omicron and Zeta later on. But obviously we're not there yet. The fleet, a solid early game fleet. But looking at the collection, what we can see is building up the Geos, which is really great to see. Imperial Troopers, big fan of, especially with Iden lead. Boba is nice. Don't think Kylo's really needed, but you know, he's a great tank, especially if you do end up going for SLK eventually. Vader coming up, which is really great to see. But yeah, obviously not much going towards Jabba because it's early on unlocked R2 already, which is nice. But what I'm mainly seeing here is Iden is with like leadership Imperial troopers, being like Vay's, Piet, and I think Gideon as well. But obviously early on that's not a problem because Iden is a better lead than Vay's because she gives more speed. But later on, when you start getting the Zetas and Iden's Omicron, you're going to want to split it into 2 teams. With a Vay's lead team with people like Piet, Moff Gideon, honestly, Dark Trooper, Stark, you can even put on it. You know, and have that General Vay's team. And then you want an Iden team as well with people like Death Trooper, Storm Trooper, Shore Trooper, Range Trooper, Magma Trooper, you know. But like if we go to Empire, like yeah, like even Snow Trooper and go on an Iden team, but actually let me go to Imperial Troopers, that would make more sense down here. Like I would split the ones you've got so far, I would put Piet, Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon. And then get someone like I use Range Trooper on mine with his, and then put Stark, Snow Trooper, and then I use Magma Trooper and Storm Trooper with it. So I'd definitely split those up just so you have 2 teams, especially going into your first GAC. Iden is such a great defensive team, people underestimate it so much. I would definitely build that up and put her on defense. And just going back to a point I made earlier on, by the way, looks of it, level 70 now, which is great. Some nice progress coming along. Just make sure you don't spread yourself too thin by farming up your like Kylo and the First Order, TIE Pilot, even Ahsoka and Mace. Just farm up your Imperial Troopers, get your Geos. Obviously, Cad Bane, Boba are needed for Jabba, so that's a solid start. Especially for the Crate Dragon raid. Boba can deal a lot of damage and that, get you some extra little personal rewards early on. So that is great. So honestly, a solid start. Looking at the ships, obviously got the Executrix as the main fleet, which is nice. The Geo ships, my mind just went blank. The Geo ships are a great start with Vulture Droid. Obviously, Vulture Droid is on Iden's node. So what I would say going forward is when you start getting into GOTB and getting the Get 2 tokens, definitely go for the Malevolence first rather than the Negotiator. Just because you've already got this backbone of the Geo ships and a Vulture Droid, just get the Hyena Bomber as well. And definitely get the Malevolence as your first big fleet over the Negotiator, I would say. But other than that, there's not really much else to say with this account. Just because it is so early on. A great foundation. Definitely split your Imperial Troopers. Keep farming them up. Get the Omicrons and Zetas on them as early as you can. Definitely get Vader's Zeta. And then keep working towards Jabba. It's a great first GL. And then again with ships, just make sure you get the Malevolence as your first Get 2 ship. And just make sure you finish your farms. But overall, a very solid start to the game. It takes a while to get up to that level 85. I know obviously I've done it, but it is worth it because that's really when the game starts. So just stick with it. You'll enjoy it, especially with these teams you're farming up. So yeah, a solid start. Just use the tips I said and you'll have a very solid roster. So let's move on to the next. Okay, and finally for this video, we have Scourge of Kaon. Please correct me if I said that wrong because I don't feel like I said it right at all. So the information we've got on this account is it is 2 years old, spent some money at the beginning but doesn't as much anymore. Going for Star Killer at the moment and building up some other teams. And he said don't mind his arena ranking since he doesn't play it. He also took a break from GAC, which is why he is in Bronze in 3 and maybe not as high as he should be. So off the face of it, SLKR is a great GL to have. Executor is great. Obviously the rankings aren't great. I would definitely recommend playing Fleet Arena more, just so just for the extra crystal income. But if you can't be asked to do it, then there's no point because you'll just tire yourself out of the game. So moving on to the collection. Okay, we've got two Galactic Legends with Sith Eternal as well, which is pretty interesting. Relatively low relics for GLs. Would definitely recommend pushing them up to at least 7 or 8. I know I've got mine at 6, but I do plan on pushing them up a little bit more, just to get the most out of the relics and like things like mastery and the extra health and stuff like that, especially for Sith Eternal. But scrolling through, obviously got all the requirements done. Relic 8 for Executor, which is great for Boba and helps a lot in the Crate Dragon Raid for damage. I'm assuming since we've got Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Revan that there's going to be a Malak popping up somewhere as I scroll through. Phasma Omicron, which is great, really helps in your guild in TW. Grievous, great to have, especially if the Malevolence is there. I've not seen that though yet. I've not seen Malak Treya. Would bring her up to relic. She's very, very good. Malak down here, I'm assuming he's being worked on, but if he isn't, definitely bring him up. But I do assume that he does. Same with Jolie. Wouldn't just leave him at gear 11. Get the most out of him. Get him up to relics like your Jedi Knight Revan is. And I'm not seeing Bastille at relics as well, so that applies to her as well. Oh, there she is. Literally the next row down. Savage will bring him up. He's great solo character. Mission Zeta not really needed. Same with Zalbar. You don't really use them very often. Kyle-Katarn, obviously for Star Killer. Same with Talon and Mara Jade. And the last requirement is Dash for that, but I don't think I've seen him, so you know, slowly working on it. It's like these characters, I would bring them up to relics. Gear 12's not bad, but people like Chewie, General Kenobi, CLS, I would definitely bring these guys up to relics. I'm assuming Han is kicking about somewhere, but either I'm blind or he's not. Let's just have a quick look at Rebels, just to make my life a little bit easier. Yeah, so we've got the beginning of a CLS team with obviously Chewie and Han. Definitely go out of your way to get 3PO and Chewie. I don't think he is here anywhere. Oh, he is, but he's 2 stars. And C3PO, because that team is just insane. That is definitely something you need to work on. A little area that you do need to work on, but not too important, I would say. The most important thing I would say is get Jolie, get Bastiller up to go with your Jedi Knight Revan, finish off Malak, which I'm assuming is being done anyway, just because the gear is already applied there. And yeah, that's the main thing I'm seeing here. Get Wat Tambor up to relics as well. You've got Sith Eternal, and you've already got him to 7-star, which is the hard part for Wat. So get him up to relics just so you can use Datacrons when you're when you do play GAC or Squad Arena or whatever. Just makes your life so much easier with Sith Eternal. But they're the main gaps I'm seeing. Another one is Bam. For Executor, I would definitely level him up just to make his ship better. Like if we got a Scoundrels. I'm assuming Cad's not done either. Yeah, definitely get Cad and Bam up just for the ship. Dash is obviously coming up to 7 stars. But if my game decides it wants to load a bit quicker, I would definitely bring them up. Okay, apologies for that. My game did just freeze. But as I was saying, definitely bring up your pilots for like the Xanadu Blood, so CAD and wherever the Razor Crest is. Definitely bring them up. And let's have a quick look at the capital ships. What we got? The Finalizer, obviously. Malevolence, which is nice to see. And hopefully the Negotiator will come soon. But let's have a quick look at the Separatists. So the team is there. Obviously finish starring these two. Bring these up to relics if you can. Even Grievous up to a few more relic levels. Just to make the most out of it, because obviously we've only got a couple of fleets. You got your three main fleets being your Malevolent, Trick, Executor, and Finalizer. It's just worth rounding them all out. The Chimera is great, but you know, you need like the Interceptor or the Scythe to make it insane. But other than that, the only things I really, or not complaints, but things I would say, finish off Malak, get your CLS up, and finish off Jolie and Bastila. But other than that, it's a really, really nice account, very solid, great for 4.3 million GP. And if you can, or if you have the time, or if you want to, definitely play more Fleet Arena just to get the extra crystals. But like I said at the start, if you just can't be arsed, don't do it, because you'll just burn yourself out in the game. But overall, a very solid account. And that'll be it for today's video. If you want your roster reviewed, please drop it in the comments. I'll just keep this series going for even longer. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you all in the next one.